This past year, I had a really cool final project. I had to assemble and code a robot car. The project had two main objectives. Part 1. The robot car had to move along and follow a black line and stop when the line ended. And part 2. The robot car had to move across the maze that was created by the professor. Seems easy enough. Everyone in the class bought their robot car from Amazon, and it was safely delivered to our houses. Ah, my leg! It comes with all the different car parts needed, some screwdrivers, and a few extra parts in case you drop a nut or something and you can't find it. Oh yeah, and it even comes with an assembly manual that we didn't use. Instead, we used a 10-minute YouTube video. It took my group of 4 guys about 2 hours to assemble the car, which was way longer than 10 minutes. Yeah, those guys were probably like RoboCar geniuses. Everybody went into this project thinking it was going to be the most cool, most fun, and most amazing project ever. And it was. The only problem was that this project was the very last project due for the semester. And do you know what that means? That's right, procrastination. The project was assigned more than a month ago. Tears were shed and sad levels were high. We only had a little bit more than a week left, and we encountered a bunch of problems. The initial factory code that we found on the manufacturer's website was crazy complicated. It had like 13 different files, and each file had like a bunch of code that we didn't understand. Most of the code referenced other values from different files, and the code barely had any comments, so we didn't really understand what the original coder was trying to do. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we were like sweating buckets here because we didn't know what was going on and time was running out. The final project was only worth like 15% of the final grade for this course, which wasn't a whole bunch if you're to compare it to like other final projects that were worth almost 25 to 30%. So you might be thinking, oh, okay, well then you don't need to be stressing because it's only worth 15%. But the thing is, there was like a live demo where we had to show our robot going through the black line and through the maze. And the whole class was watching. So sure, you can be losing a few marks, but you'll lose something a little bit more important than the marks. Your pride. Pathetic. There was a few more days until demo day, and the professor shared a super duper important file. It was a file with some sample code that was way more simple than the initial 13 file factory code. With it being so easy to understand, all we really needed to do was to tweak the different values to make sure the robot moved perfectly. This is for things like the wheel speed or the wheel rotation direction. But yeah, like why can't you just use the same values as the other groups and call it a day? Well, even though it's the same product and the same car, each car is built a little different. I mean literally. Like so if you screw the parts too tight or too loose, that could change how the car moves. Yeah, and also like making sure like the car parts are aligned properly. Even small factors like dust on the wheels can change how the car would move. Don't worry, we already tried. After a bunch of testing, maybe like 20 plus times, we finally got the robot to follow the black line and move through the maze once. But it was like crazy inconsistent. The car could be moving perfectly one day, but the next day, it would start spazzing out and not work. There are just so many different factors that could be changing for each test. All the testing done to make sure the car moves perfectly, it wasn't worth it. So we decided to leave it up to fate. D-Day. So yep, today was a day where people were viewed as heroes or publicly shamed, nothing in the middle. Most of the demo marks are based on how far the robot goes through the maze. Each group had 3 chances to get to the end of the maze. And yeah, this is how our first run went. It's going good? Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, now.
No.
If you turn left. Well, this is the hard part.
No. We reviewed this many times.
This one adjusts. This one I like.
Oh, it's okay. We don't get marks deducted for that.
Yeah, it does. Oh, so beautiful.
Hold that wall, please. Can you?
Sorry?
No, hold the wall. Doesn't matter.
I'll start holding the wall. Yeah, this is
come on, dude. It was a pretty solid run. We would have got to the end if it wasn't for that wall. Like, who put that wall there, man? Goddamn wall. And then this is how our second run went.
We did the whole thing. Is this the round
I don't know actually. Oh, what happened? How's it going backwards?
I gave up.
Yeah, this was a little unlucky. For some reason, our robot decided to turn around and to go the wrong way. It never really did that before, so I don't know why it's doing that now, you know, when it's for marks. And this is how our third run went. Yeah, do like a curling.
Move to the left, move to the left. I already cleaned this.
You clean this?
Yo, go curl. You gotta clean it.
That's gonna go slip and then.
No.
You gotta like move it to the left or right, dude. Then you can You clean too low, bro.
No.
Once again, a little unlucky. Our robot never stopped following the black line before, so I don't know why it's deciding to act up now when it's for marks. We kept the code the same, and as you can see, for our robot car, the first run was the best, and for some reason the second and third run went wacko. Yep. Good thing they took the best of the 3 runs, or else we would have been screwed. Overall, it was a super fun project, and I think everyone had a great time, even though most of our robots didn't get to make it to the end of the maze. We learned a bunch of new skills, and I thought it was a really cool thing to share. And yeah, that's about it. Catch you in the next one.